Okay. Can you see my screen?
I can.
Okay.
Yes.
So in terms of what we do, Scott, is we buy bulk from the municipalities, and then what we do is we then sell that to what we call strata units, or effectively complexes with 40 or 50 or 60 units in it. So what we do is we so we on-sell electricity and water. So this is an example where we've got an electricity meter as well as a water meter that is installed here. So we've got our own platform where we read all our electricity and water meters on a 15-minute basis. So for instance, on this electricity, if I select that, you will see that we're able to see our total consumption at the top, which is 607 kilowatt hours for the month of July. Then at the top, we've got a cost of 1,013 Rand, which is our local currency, and an average unit price of 1.67 Rand per unit. Then underneath that, we've then got per day the consumption. For instance, this example is 44 kilowatt hours and the cost is 79.64. And if I wanted to see what happened on that Saturday, we can select it, and you will see that the graph here at the bottom then changes. So we can see the detail of it. We do exactly the same for water as well. So for instance, here you'll be able to see exactly when did the unit actually consume water. Now, in terms of where we actually use Skybill, and this has really been the strength in our partnership, is the fact that they have got the back-end accounting and billing system for us, because we didn't want to develop that ourselves. So we focus on the technology in terms of getting the readings in, building this website, and we left the billing engine to them. Now, as an example, let's say we want to take, or let's take this 21st, Saturday the 21st, the cost of 79 Rand. If we go here to the billing, let's take the 29th. It might be easier, sorry.
I think it's the first.
Yes. So yeah, let's say the 29th, you see there it's 34.74 Rand, which is the cost for that day. So if we go to the billing, Skybill's actually customized it for us, that we can actually see what was that cost right there. And if we click on it, we actually extract directly from Skybill the actual invoice. Just want to see whether it actually now shows. It's just loading. There we go. Can you see that? The
Yes.
MyVoltage invoice. So what this is fully generated from Skybill. So they've actually customized this invoice for us. So we're very happy with it, because we can see the actual tariff, we can see the meter serial number, the actual reading, the final reading, number of units consumed, price, and then the price exclusive of VAT. Now, in South Africa, we've got a big problem with collecting our debts. So we do not invoice on a monthly basis. We actually invoice on a daily basis, and everything is prepaid. So they need to physically deposit money into our account, and then we actually run the balance on it. And if they come to zero, we disconnect the electricity. So this is, if I look at the billing here, you will see that this person had 203 Rand 22 credit on his account. And then we took off 25 Rand 177 and actually went all the way down to 7 Rand. And here they actually went in credit. So normally we would have actually set it to actually disconnect these guys. We actually allow them to go up to 100 Rand into credit before we disconnect, just as a convenience thing. But all of this is done in Skybill in the back. So I can actually open up my Skybill and physically see each and every one of these transactions. It's fully accounted for. It's all, I want to say, beautifully displayed in my accounting package already. And everything is always on time, real time. Also, something else, if we go to the what we call the historical data summary.
I like the way you have it laid down. It's real simple.
Yes. So what we've got here is we've got the electricity and the water. And over here, you can now see your full bill. For instance, June, they spent 829 Rand on electricity and 140 Rand on water. And here you can actually now also compare that. Remember, this is just the new client we've added on, so there's nothing in 2017. But you can at least see the cost and the kilowatt hour units used, as well as your average rate there. And all of this information, this financial information, is all hosted in the back by Skybill for us. So in terms of the kilowatt hour units, that's coming from our proprietary back end, reading the consumption stuff. And then all the Rand amount is coming from Skybill. So we just pull information from the various places. And with all the APIs that Skybill's done for us, it's really made it very, very simple. Something else I just want to brag a little bit. Yes.
Yes, I do have a question. So I was putting on a headset on your first part of your presentation. And it appears to me that you have created your own dashboards through your own proprietary system, and now you basically have an API to their accounting solution. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. So I'm going to quickly open. Let me open it up. Yeah, then we can quickly just hold on. I'm going to quickly draw it for you.
Dashboards look good.
Yeah, so I'm gonna show you some stuff that we're very proud of. So for instance here, let me first draw it for you, Scott. Then it's gonna make a lot of sense. So what we've got is we've got on this side, we've got what we put in as the meters. Okay. And they all got all their little legs down here. Then what we've got is we then run Skybill here. Skybill. Okay. So that's this full accounting here. And then what we've got is we've got the web. All the stuff that I've just shown you now with the dashboard and everything running here. So in terms of consumption, the web is querying the meter for items such as the kilowatt hour.
Nick, sorry, did you switch the programs, or because
sorry.
we're still seeing the Google Chrome?
No, let me quickly.
Yeah. Just to reshare the screen and choose either software or desktop.
New share.
Yeah, it will be easier.
Okay, sorry, there, share screen. Oh, sorry guys, sorry. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got the meter system on the left-hand side. So that's all our kilowatt hour consumption pulls from there. And then what we've got is on this side with Skybill, we then basically pull out all our dollar information to display that on the web. So what Skybill does is every 24 hours, and that's why I put it as a dotted line. So 24 hours, Skybill queries our meter database, retrieves the very last reading that we've got for the day, and then uses that to determine the billing on the invoice for the daily. So we could have done it for monthly as well, but monthly, daily doesn't matter. But Skybill queries this database, so they've done the API, or we've got an API and they've got an API, but they query our API and then do the billing and all of that in here. So what we then do on Skybill is then also is we can see our reports. Okay. So we can see all our reports where the cash comes in, all of that. Okay. So is this clear so far?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm going to quickly, if you don't mind, I'm just going to switch screens quickly again.
Yes.
Okay. So, Scott, what you'll see here is you see there's a payment that came in on the 27th of the 7th.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually see. So the guy's balance, you see, went into negative 42. We said to him, listen, yeah, we're going to disconnect you, so please top up your account. He then topped up his account with 1,000 Rand. So how they actually top up is if we click on this recharge button here on the left. This is an example. So you would have put in your 1,000 and then click pay now. It would have taken us to Sage Pay. Now, what Sage Pay does, it allows us to either pay with all our credit cards, iPay, which is all our local banks, or they can physically go and do a cash deposit somewhere at one of the local convenience stores on it. But whatever happens in here is automatically being processed, or as soon as we get the confirmation on it. You see the beauty of a demo.
It
Been
always.
there, done that.
So what would have happened is we've got a so that's our payment gateway, Sage Pay.
Mm-hmm.
So automatically we've then made it with the APIs from Skybill that this payment, which is recorded on our payment gateway, automatically pushes into Skybill. So our cash book in our account in Skybill balances exactly with the physical cash that we've got on hand in our bank account. So we do not have any interaction with any of our clients. We run the invoice on a daily basis. If their balance get low, they get a notification, we disconnect them, or if they pay in, they use those channels, it's automatically in Skybill, and we literally just collect cash and pay the accounts that we have to pay. So for us, the whole principle behind our business and automating this is using Skybill and their cash books in NAV and so on. I've done a lot of research on a lot of people and so on, and we found Skybill, and I like the NAV stuff. And these guys have built a lot of stuff for us, really. So I'm not blowing smoke up their arse now, but they've really helped us a hell of a lot.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's I think the way you presented it is good. The ongoing payment, I think the U.S. market is slowly adopting prepayment, getting more utilities, water companies, electricity, all kinds of energy companies starting to look into prepayment. So I think having this capability will be outstanding for us going in the future for our company and Skybill. and having
Yes.
this kind of setup.
Yes. So, Scott, in terms of that, we run multiple types of this. We don't have to run prepayments. We can run on postpaid mode as well. So exactly what you've got at the moment. So I'm quickly going to log out. Then I'm going to show you a postpaid one. Now, I'm just going to quickly close this. Just going to share my screen again.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got a. Can you see my Explorer?
No, not yet.
Okay. Share screen.
Okay, it's loading. You can see it.
Okay. So what we've got here is this is actually a company called Prime Media. They're one of the largest advertising companies in South Africa. And what we've done for them is we measure the billboards that's next to the road. Okay, the electricity consumption on it. So you'll see that. I'll show you some of the other ones. So these are the 5 sites that we've now installed for them. They've got about 3,500 sites. But in short, we can see each and every one of the meters, the electricity. We can see they're online. We can see exactly when they last reported. We can see their meter reading. You can see the map at the moment. Okay. And then you'll see there, we're based in Pretoria. So you'll see there's 5 meters. So we literally click on that. So you can now see the different sites that we've got going here. So let's say I want to see what's happening on that meter. I would select it.
So these meters must run. These signs must eat up some electricity, huh?
That's correct. So this particular site is a digital billboard. So it's a massive TV digital billboard. And what you'll see here is because these billboards, they actually run, so we can see their consumption being quite steady. But here you can see if it's actually getting hot, they'll actually switch the air conditioning on to actually cool it down. But we can see that it's consistent. And here we actually run it day by day on it. And here they can actually physically see their account increasing every day. You know, like the other one which we showed, which was decreasing. So this one is now increasing on a daily basis on it. So they can see their account going up, and then they would pay it and it would come down. So you can run this on a prepaid and a postpaid basis. And if we click on this historical data summary, you can see there's the cost. See, there's that cost should have just been July. But we can effectively see everything we want to see on a prepaid, a postpaid basis, all of that. If we go to another site, still there on it, which is a company called Nedbank, which is one of the large banks in South Africa.
So my question, Nick, on the billboards.
Yes.
So they have smart meters to the electricity company. You have partnered with the billboard company to monitor their their electricity usage. So you basically tied in with them to give them an output on an ongoing basis and also do their billing.
Yes. So, Scott, in terms of that, we're the first company in South Africa that's reversed engineered utility billing. Now, I would just want to explain that concept to you. So, the problem is with manual meter readings, the guys don't go out and take it regularly on, let's say, every 30 days. The 1 month, it's 20-day cycle, then it's a 40-day cycle. We've got a lot of estimates. So your utility bill isn't stable. So, like for instance, the billboard company doesn't know what they're going to pay.
Right.
So, what we're now doing is we're saying we've installed a smart meter. We do the billing on a daily basis, and at the end of the month, we tell you what we owe you. We don't wait for you to tell us what we owe you. We tell you what we're going to pay you. So therefore, we send them a statement and tell them we will pay you 2,000 rand. Okay, this is how much electricity we've used, and these are the fixed charges. If you've got a problem with us paying you that amount, then you need to come and argue with us. But it's difficult to come and argue against a class 1 electricity meter where the reading is taken every 15 minutes, and you can go onto the online portal and see the consumption. So therefore, where they were used to have a lot of clerks processing utility bills and trying to follow up on it and so on, they now only pay one invoice to us. And then what we do is we then pay all of these guys based on a self-invoicing principle. So we're just cutting down first of all, the admin. And secondly, we're now telling the guys, this is what we will pay you because we are now measuring it accurately. So that's
are you paying, business. Nick, are you paying, so you are actually paying the electric company themselves for the media company who has the sign. So you're calculating it on a daily basis. You're telling the media company who has the signs, this is your bill at the end of the month. You actually process it and then pay the actual utility electric company.
That's correct. So for instance, here at NetBank, what you've got here on the screen, you see all of them. So we give them one statement saying, these are all the meters, pay us 600,000 Rand. We take the 600,000 and we pay each and every one of these service providers their portion of that. And we make a monthly admin fee of that.
So you charge the media company, the sign company, a fee to process, to do this processing, and you add it on to the usage.
That's correct.
And then an electric company pays the bill, and you get your fees, and everybody's happy.
Exactly that. Because for the media company and the bank, it's much better for them having one guy and they pay a fee for having a smart meter than paying salaries on a monthly basis where you've still got maternity leave, annual leave, sick leave, and our system doesn't do any of that. It doesn't go into annual leave. So it's just much better for them. They've got full control over their expenses and it's actually working. They're actually saving money.
Well, yeah, it's more a stable environment by far.
So the other thing, Scott, that we also do, and yes, I'm in sales mode now. I'm supposed to just give you a demo, but I'm in sales mode. So what we do is we also measure electricity on the cell phone towers, the mobile operators, because they've got exactly the same issue, multiple sites, multiple landlords, and they actually run quite big bills. They do 3,000-4,000 kilowatt hours per month. And they don't know when they're getting billed and billed accurately. So we actually measure cell phone towers as well.
Nice. Who makes the investment in the smart metering devices for all the sign locations?
So we actually do that. So we've got some pretty investors with deep pockets. So what we do is we never sell a meter. Never. We only rent it. So therefore, we charge a monthly fee, which includes your meter rental as well as your the admin behind it. So the idea is that we actually pay off our investment first of all, but we've got a recurring revenue basis that we're actually growing. And the reason why we're doing that is because of the large geographical area that we actually cover. And the difficulty of installing all these meters. If we in we are in. It is going to be very, very difficult to get us out of the market and somebody to replace these meters. So in the long run, we actually make a lot more money just charging a rental fee than making an initial profit on the sale of the meter and us making a smaller admin fee.
Absolutely. It's a genius idea.
Yes. So with that also is we've now taken it a little step further. Now, this is for instance, property companies. I'm going to quickly show you this. So what we do is you'll see it's all exactly the same look and feel. We just pull a different skin over it. And then the guy suddenly thinks, oh, MEMS properties. Oh, they've got this awesome system, and they can click on it. But it's all powered by MyVoltage. So for instance, here we can see we've got 1 meter on one line, the electricity one, and the water meter is offline. They've actually taken this meter out yesterday. No, 2 days ago. That's why it's offline. But what we now do is we go to the property companies. We say, listen, you guys, you've got a big issue with collecting rent, for instance. Now, I know the US market is different to the South African one, but we now go and install a meter in the house, and we provide them a one-stop shop for metering the electricity, the water, the rent, everything through the centralized platform. And their customers or their tenants thinks it's actually their own software. And then what we do is we charge a 3% collection commission on the collection. So we've got absolutely no risk. They use the recharge function like we've got here. You can still see my screen, eh?
Yes.
So we do the recharge. It automatically comes in. It goes to Skybill. It's accounted for there. And we literally just pay them out a lump sum of all the rent that we've collected. And we take a 3% clip of the ticket on it. And we just like a bank. We just take a 3% clip of the ticket with absolutely no risk and no phone calls from nobody.
That's a great idea. It's I can see there's huge upside for, like you just said, property owners for big apartment complexes and huge communities that have to read and collect electric and power, water, and whatever.
Yes.
And you're getting your cash. And are you paying these, in this case, this property MEMS, are they receiving their money on a 24-hour basis, or are they receiving it?
No, we pay it over on a weekly basis. I guess we can up it to a 24-hour basis if we really need to. But typically, what most of the guys pay in South Africa between the 27th and the 3rd of the month. So that's typically in that week. So we've got our first payment to them on the 1st of the month, and then on the 7th of the month again. And whatever rent we collect after the 7th, we just pay to them again on the next month on the 1st. So we can always step it up if we have to, but for instance with them it's working fine. We've got another one called RSV. You see there, RSV Property Services. And it all looks different. It's the same thing, but everybody loves it and everybody thinks it's their website.
Right.
And at the back end, the nice thing also about Skybill is we actually create different Skybill companies. So for instance, RSV, they've got their own, Carlos, what's the right word? Is it client or company or whatever at the back end?
Yeah, it's a company.
A company, yes. So we don't mix RSV with MEMS properties with Nedbank's money. It's all kept separate. Also, even in our payment gateway side on with SagePay, we've got a separate bank account for each and every one of those. So if their auditors were ever to come in, they can come in and the money in the bank ties up with the money in Skybill, and they can have full access to it without disposing any confidential information of any of our other clients. So it's fully ring-fenced.
Mhm.
And the nice thing with Skybill is we don't, and don't start charging us, Carlos, but we don't get charged. You don't get charged per company. So
Mhm.
for us, it's much better rather splitting the admin between 3 or 4 different companies than trying to bundle it into one and then trying to report to the end user, because we're just a conduit
Mhm.
on it. So that's our business model.
Mhm.
That's
Very
what we do.
good. Very nice. Very nice.
Very detailed. I loved it, Nick.
Okay, so the we actually now, I don't want to say it's premature telling you, but I'll give you just a little snippet. But we're actually now going into the municipal market as well.
The what market?
The municipal
Okay.
market. So
Great.
it works a little bit different in the US, I'm assuming. But we've got a problem here with the municipalities not taking accurate readings. So now what we're doing is we actually got a little device that just clips onto the municipal meter. So we're not tampering with the municipal meter. And I'm talking about old traditional meters, which is not smart meters yet. And that's, a lot of them haven't been converted to smart meters purely because of the cost. So what we now do is we clip our little device on it. It generates all the data for us. We display it here, and we calculate the municipal bill for our end user. So when they actually do get their bill, we'll actually be able to compare the municipal bill to what we've calculated. And if it doesn't match up, they can actually go to the municipality and say, "Hey guys, this bill isn't right. This is not matching up." And the nice thing about that is it doesn't cost us much doing it, but we can actually get thousands and thousands of clients almost instantly. So we've got a whole online registration process that captures all their details and does all those kind of things. We just then flip it into Skybill, and it's like a self-help municipal billing system, or check the municipal bill type of thing on it. So we slowly starting to introduce that. The guys actually love it, but we'll be really launching it big in September to really try and get traction in the market on it. So we're just in pilot phase at the moment, but the guys love it, and it's actually awesome.
So, Nick, did I hear you say that you attach a some kind of measuring device on the meter, the utility companies or municipalities meter, to actually read side by side with their meter, manual meter?
That's correct. So we've developed our own little device that actually taps into that meter. So it's
And they
actually,
let you, they don't have any issues with you comparing their meter reading to your meter reading?
no. So at the moment, I've actually got a meeting on Friday again with the head of metering in our municipality. So their readings are such a mess and so inaccurate. They actually prefer that, because what we also do is, because we've got the accurate readings from the meter, we submit it via the web to their system, and then they don't have to do estimates or actual readings anymore, because we effectively doing the municipality's work of reading the meter, and the end user is paying for it and loving it.
Absolutely.
So it's just, we've got a bit of a cowboy market here in Africa, but for us, the end users is actually willing to actually pay to have something graphically displayed for them, or just to have accurate data with the municipality.
So Nick, the one you're doing on the beta test, so is the metering company that you're working with now, are they having a manual read? So you're saying somebody has to come out there, and they're now, you eliminate that process by your device reading it for them.
That's correct. So so we're reading it and we're displaying it here on our dashboard exactly like this for them. you'll just see here the bill would just run up. Remember, like the previous one that I showed you.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, so we're taking out all the manual stuff on it. So Scott, maybe I should just give you a bit of background, because you're wondering, why did you do all this IT stuff and accounting stuff and everything together? Why are you not an engineering firm? So my dad is actually an electronic engineer, and he's got an electronic company that actually does quite a lot of this stuff. And I've got another engineer that we've actually developed all this hardware technology from. So that's why we've developed it in-house. We can adjust it like we want. We physically manufacture all our PC boards, all our components, all the stuff. And then we decided, okay, let's make a business out of this reading of it. I'm a chartered accountant.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the accounting and the Skybill stuff comes in. So I'm looking after all the financial stuff. And then my dad actually looks after a lot of this technology stuff and making sure the engineering hardware is working in. And then we just developed this portal.
It's a great model. I mean, the U.S. market, all indications, the electric companies are the big players in the marketplace are going to trying to move to the prepayment market, and your ideas with the getting the manual process for the metering to more of a smart process by giving them the metering and then charging the fees. Genius idea. It's a great idea. It'll be a great thing for the U.S. market as well.
Yes. So in terms of that, Scott, for instance, here, if you look at that payments on it, we charge like a convenience fee. You see, that's of 10%. If it goes through any of the convenience stores, meaning physical cash on it. But if they do an EFT, there's actually no charge for that, because there's no transaction charges on it. So there's really a big benefit if they want to move over to prepayment, because you just deposit your money in and we physically deduct it off it, and you've now got control over it. It's a bit of a mind switch for the guys, not receiving an invoice and kind of paying in a lump sum and then see how your balance decreases. But it's very interesting. As soon as they've got that mindset, it's really accepted well in the market. But it just takes a bit of time getting the guys' head around it.
Mm-hmm. They have the prepaid market's taken off in the cellular world in the U.S. and it's pretty accepted there. I'm starting to see it more into the apartment complexes and rental agencies and rental markets.
Sure. Brilliant. So Scott, so at the end of the day, I don't know whether there's anything else that you want me to sell to you, or show you or whatever. So
no, just that's great. Just so you guys created your own all the dashboards that I looked at today were all through your personal creations.
Yes.
Or through the Skybill dashboards?
No. So these are all our MyVoltage proprietary developments. So what we do is we basically just get the stuff from Skybill. So this information is from Skybill.
Right.
And for instance, if I click on the invoice, it's opening up now.
Mm-hmm.
This is Skybill. So this is all created on Skybill. But it's just because we just wanted information and to show it on our dashboards. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But this is for instance a Skybill invoice that we're displaying here.
Right.
And then lastly, just the last thing, Scott, sorry, is what we did is the biggest problem, with all due respect to engineers, is that they're so into the detail of, oh, this is 1 kWh, this equates to this, how many units here and there, is that they never give something that's pretty to the end user. So literally what we did is we went to, I've used a company called // for this website design, and we said to the guys, listen here, tell us what you think the market will like. And I like this, it's nice and clean. I think it's user-friendly. And they've literally built the skin or the design of this from scratch, looking at what the user wants to see. And then we said, okay, this is the Skybill information. Now you build this information from Skybill into the website. And you see, this is the consumption graphs. You pull it out of our database and show it here. So that worked nice for us, because we didn't have any legacy stuff or engineers coming in and want to show detail that nobody else understands.
Right. Yeah, keep it simple.
Keep it simple. And it's basic. You know, there's really not much more that I can show these guys. But for instance, on this historical view, all the questions that we always get about everybody that doesn't understand the account is all explained here. There's your amount it's cost you. That's the amount of units you've used, and that's the average cost. So that's it. If you use more money or use more units, then you start paying more per unit. That's how we just work here to try and keep consumption down. So if you go over a certain amount of units, you actually get charged exponentially more on it.
Now, is this for a specific customer? I didn't see a customer name.
This specific one.
No, I'm saying on this historic data summary overview,
Yes.
this is obviously for a person or an individual.
Yes.
Yes, that's correct. So I'm clicking on profile now. So you will see this is just a demo login, but you would have seen there the name, Unit 17 or whatever is his name, his email address, his cell phone number, customer, all of this. So this specific historical overview here is for this person here.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So maybe you have any questions more, Scott? Otherwise, we won't hold down Nick any longer. This has been great demo, I would say.
I like the way you got it set up. That's for sure. I like the individual look and feel for every, as you call it, skin. It gives everybody the personal feel, and gives them just enough information to solve their issues. And it's a really nice setup.
Yes. So Scott, at the end of the day, if you we like Carlos said, so we basically got a partnership going. So we work with Skybill, and they are accounting guys at the back. If you want any of this, I'm happy that you talk to Skybill and we work out a deal with. You work out a deal with Skybill, and we'll work out a deal with you if you want some of this technology or whatever. I mean, it's a full plug and play already, and it's all running on Skybill. So talk to Carlos about it, and then we can do it. So all the meters are that we actually use. So yes, Carlos, listen here. You need to stop me if I need to stop selling. But
yeah, it's fine. If you have anything else to show, of course.
So Scott, I'm just going to quickly open up this one thing here.
I'm really interested in the device mechanism for the smart reader, for the people who are manual reading.
Yes.
That is something that would be really interested. Our company would be really interested in learning more about, because I'd say 40% of the market in the U.S. is still manually reading their meters, and so.
Okay, so I'm gonna quickly open this up for you. Let me just share this.
Yeah, because we still see the interest.
Yes. Just gonna open it here. Okay, stop sharing that one. Share this one. Can you see?
Yeah.
You see the slideshow? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The niche.
Yeah, so that's just a little complex. Oh, now it's going to give us the whole thing. I'll just quickly run you through it. No, I just want to show you a specific slide. There's all the stuff you've already seen.
Yeah.
But
something more.
Okay, so what we do is this, Scott. Is we integrating on the metering side. We use hexing. And then on the metering side, we use the sensors and the Elster meters. So that's part of it. But then also what we do is we actually integrate with the Elster electricity meters, with the Schneider Electrics, as well as the Eastrons. So all of these are already approved in the US market and so on. There's quite a lot of them where you don't even have to go and install a new meter. We can actually just install our modems on these meters, and that comes into our database then, which collates all the data and then feeds up to the web and feeds into Skybill on it. So if you're interested on those kind of things, then we're happy to talk with it. I mean, your connection is with Skybill. But we're happy to work something out with Skybill, and we can supply you with the technology. It's been tested. We've got a couple of thousand of these devices running on this technology. We've developed it over the last 4.5 years. So it's stable, it's nice, it's working. But also, it's more cost effective than anybody else's in the market. So my previous life was just before MyVoltage. I was the financial director at a big property management company. And we were considering moving over to smart metering, and it's like, yes, this is too expensive. And then that's why we then just started developing the stuff in-house and our own proprietary stuff. So we can actually supply it at about a quarter of the price of any of our competition in South Africa.
That's awesome.
And that is also why, and I'm giving you a little bit of the trade secrets here, but so that is why, for instance, on all these net banks and all these big corporates, we say to them, listen, you go and get a price from our competition. What are they asking per meter? Okay. Plus, put in your installation cost on top of it. So they end up with a massive initial upfront capital amount, first of all. Then secondly, these guys also still charge a platform fee per month. Now, if they combine that, our price for our admin fee, admin and platform and meter rental fee, is about half of what they should have been paying at any of our competition. So for them, it's an absolute no-brainer to rather come and rent the stuff from us on a monthly basis, which is on a full maintenance lease, than having to put out all the capital. But the only reason why we can do it is because our price is actually a quarter of everybody else's price, and in terms of our stability, reliability, all that stuff, we actually match all of it, and we actually exceed it. And that's why we've actually got the edge in the market on it. But I mean, that's now a trade secret that I've told you. But that's basically how we operate in the market. And that's how we get these big listed companies to now start using our services.
That's a great technology, great way to go to market.
There's a lot of money that's gone into developing that. So, but as I said, that's what we do. So if you want to have a chat to Carlos, and we can work something out. If you want a demo or something, I'm happy to send some devices over to you in the US. Shiprin, my mother is actually going to the US. My brother stays in Chicago in September. So if you want a sample or you want a little demo between us and Skybill on it, we're happy to do it. I'm happy to ship you some equipment over free of charge as a little pilot site on that side.
Great. Yeah, I mean, it's. I'd like to obviously look a little deeper. I mean, if you got this PowerPoint, if you could send it to Carlos, and I could, read through it again. This PowerPoint presentation, that would be great.
Okay, brilliant. So I'll send it to Carlos, but I think the important thing is just being the contact with Carlos. I'd like to kind of keep the relationship, through Skybill. As we partners, I'm not cutting them out or anything.
Oh no,
on this. So I'm working.
We have no desire to cut work.
Yes.
We should have no desire to cut Carlos and Skybill out there. A vital partner of ours as well.
Okay, no, cool. So now I just wanted to make sure we work very closely together. So our relationship is very important. So
yes.
So I just want to make sure that it's fully transparent with Skybill. And if you're happy with those terms and conditions, then I'm happy to proceed with that.
Perfect. Well, hey, it was a great presentation. Learned a lot, and thank you so much for your time.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah, I couldn't say any better. That was great, Nick, and thank you very much for it.
Okay, brilliant.
Nick, I wouldn't. One thing I would say, I would once we do some more due diligence and we get a little further with Skybill, I would like to get some of my board members to maybe sit down and see this technology process again with Skybill, through Skybill, and maybe look at it again with them.
Yeah, so brilliant. So no, it's if you board members want to have a look, we've got, for instance, I haven't shown any of that stuff to you now, is the operational side as well, monitoring all the meters and where they're located and the signal strength, and making sure everything is online, and like the water meters, because remember, water meters is RF, and making sure that stuff works in. So there's much more than even what I've just showed you today on an operational side on it.
So your meter reading devices, one last question, your meter reader devices that you have that monitor the potential new municipalities, are they through the cloud, or are they through some radio reads devices, or how are you capturing that information?
So what we do is we've developed two types of technologies. The one is RF. So we use 868 megahertz. So that's the wireless one. And all of it goes to a gateway, which then has a GSM SIM card in. So we GSM all the information up into the cloud, so into our proprietary database. The other one is where we've physically got a module that fits into the meter. Is it still showing the electricity meters for you at the moment on the screen? Is the PowerPoint still showing on your screen?
Yes.
Yes. So what you'll see there is, you see next to the hexing, you see there's little lights there. Okay.
Right.
If you open up this box here, you open it up, and there's actually a place in here to actually fit our modem. So our modem fits into this electricity meter, and it's got its own SIM card, GSM SIM card in here. So we actually GSM the information out of that meter directly up into the cloud. And once we've got it in the cloud, we can do whatever we want with it.
That's impressive. Yeah. I like it.
Okay. Alternatively, Scott, what you could do is, why don't I get you one of the guys that works here for me? We organize you a safari. You come to South Africa. I show you all the stuff live with the sites. You come and check out some lions, have an awesome time back here, and then fly back to the US.
I have several friends in South Africa. I'd love to go visit too.
Okay. Well, now you can just do a business trip. You can deduct it. You can deduct it for tax purposes and not even feel guilty about it, and come and check it out.
Yeah, I just got to get the board approval.
Well, if you can't get it, then give it to me. I'll get them to get you approved.
Yeah, that's good. Well, once they see it, I think they'll see the light. Yeah, okay. It's impressive. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay. Okay, brilliant. Okay, Scott, have a great day.
You too. Thank you, sir.
Okay, cheers. Bye. Bye-bye, Cut.
Bye, Nick. Thank you very much.
Okay. Pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye now.